The Southern Scene is back today with Joe McNamee of Absolute Investment Group in Port Wentworth. Now, last time Joe joined us, he had a great advice for people who want to buy a home but have hit roadblock after roadblock, making that dream come true. Well, today we're looking at the issue in reverse. Joe's going to tell us how he can help if you're trying to sell your home but you're having no luck at all. And now Joe joins us for the Southern Scene. Thanks, Joe. It's always great to see you here.
I'm happy to be here with you.
Well, let's talk about Absolute Investment Group because, you know, the last time we got together, you shared with us a little bit about what that's about.
Yeah, well, Absolute Investment Group is where we buy, it's a company that I created where we buy and sell real estate. So it's all different types of properties. It's not just houses, but houses are our primary thing that we move around with.
And of course, the last show we talked about the buying. We approached it from the buying perspective.
That's correct.
And today we're talking about selling. So, but you're not a real estate agent.
No. No.
So let's talk about how that works with Absolute Investment Group.
Well, people are they're having a hard time selling their properties today. And many people think that, oh, well, this company here is an investment company where we're buying houses and getting them dirt cheap or stealing them. Many times we pay full price for the property. It just depends on the terms that we can put in place. And I'm not going to get into great detail on terms, but there's several different things that we do where we buy properties from people. So we're trying to help them get their burden off their back, trying to reunite people again who are separated because of a house. You know, a husband or wife got a job in another city, state, country, what have you, and the other spouse is staying local with this property trying to get it sold. So a lot of people have given up. They think that there's nothing that they can do or they're tired of that. Well, we're trying to tell people we buy houses, we buy real estate, we buy properties. And so, like I said, there's many times where we can get them full price for their property.
You know, the sad thing is we see a lot of homes foreclose as well. I mean, what happens in that case? I mean, what's the problem there?
Well, here's what's going on. There's people that want to sell, and then there's people who have to sell. And so the person who has to go the route of foreclosing on, who got hurt? Everybody. It's an abandoned house almost. Even though the bank may now own it, there's just a lot of properties sitting around like that.
A lot of times they'll just kind of give up and say, listen, we'll just rent this house.
Yeah.
Is it good to do that? Or if you want to get rid of a house, you should be able to?
Well, there is an argument that says, okay, I can just rent the house. And you could have a rental management company handle it. But if you're not a professional landlord and you don't have that dream team, all those assets sitting there helping you with the inevitable problems that will pop up most of the time, then you're asking for trouble.
Joe, let me ask you this. I mean, you know, a lot of times when you're talking about anything having to do with buying or selling, and in this specific case, selling, a lot of it can be overwhelming. And if you're not dealing with an expert or somebody that can kind of help you and walk through, it can be very, very overwhelming and kind of scary.
Sure.
This is something that you do.
That's right, that's right. And you know, some people think, well, oh my gosh, I need to remodel, I need to change carpet, I need to repaint, and they go into all this expense because they think that's why their house didn't sell. Not in this economy. Banks can't write checks like they used to. They can't write checks the way they did in 2007. They're limited on the funds that they have available to lend for buying, you know, for someone who wants to buy a house.
What would you like to say for a final word with to our viewers when it comes to Absolute Investment Group and selling?
Well, the bottom line is we buy real estate. We buy real estate on all different types of terms, all different ways. So when we take a look at the house, take a look at the situation, the financial situation going on with it, and the needs of the seller, we try to solve all those problems and make it possible to get that burden off their back. And guess what? It doesn't cost them anything. It costs the seller nothing for us to be involved. So we jump in, we see if we can solve the problem. 95% of the time we can. So we jump in, we solve it. So give us a shout. See if we can help with.
Well, definitely some great information there. And as always, it's great to see you here on the Southern Scene, and we'll see you again really soon.
I'm happy to be here.
You know, this is great information, and if you want more, well, you're in luck. You can keep it tuned right here to WSAV, and when the Southern Scene is over at 12:30, well, Joe will be back with an entire half hour about his Absolute Investment Group. He'll show you more ways he brings buyers and sellers together to make everyone's American dream come true.